Who is Drift? One day in real-world California, a graffiti artist who goes by the name Drift approached a mysterious burger statue that appeared in the desert. At the time he painted his logo on this burger, he had no idea of the turn his life was about to take. When he finished his art, a rift suddenly pulled both him and the statue to Reality Zero, a world we know as the Fortnite Island. Not long after he arrived, he met a few friends who were on a road trip around the map together, those characters being a snapshot of Jonesy named Rex, Cuddle Team Leader who we now know as Sid, and Bright Bomber, who immediately after meeting Drift decided to invite him to join them on their road trip. Drift, seeing no other options, accepts her offer. Throughout their road trip, the crew have an absolute blast of each other and all become really good friends. Then one day, the group went to a pool party where somebody gifted Drift a fox mask that appeared to be modeled after his logo. He of course accepts the gift, but unbeknownst to him, this mask had a little more to it than meets the eye. The group continued their road trip, discovering more and more of the island until they wound up at a movie theater where Drift and Bright started to become a little more than just friends. But then weird things started to happen around the island. A group of IO agents called the Enforcers came to the island, as at this point in the story, the IO had full control over who came and left Reality Zero, and Drift was not supposed to be there. However, Drift proved too much for the Enforcers, especially now that it was evident that whatever this fox mask was gave him rift-related powers. He defeated the Enforcers, and in a strange way ended up proving to the IO that he belonged on their island. But not long after this incident, a mysterious cube came to the island, which the group investigated but chose that it would be best to leave that to somebody more equipped to deal with it, as it seemed to hold some dark secrets. After this season, Drift left the spotlight of the story, but was still present on the island for the rest of Chapter 1. He was seen at a beach party during Season 8. In Season X, he met an alternate universe version of himself named Catalyst, who over time he would befriend, and he was seen still with Bright watching the final sunset of Chapter 1, which was the last time we saw this pair together. What happened between them still remains unknown. But moving on to Chapter 2, one day Drift was contacted by someone named Bai, the last surviving member of the Fox Clan, which is a syndicate located in Mega City. She told Drift that the fox mask that he has been wearing made him a target to whoever wiped out the rest of the Fox Clan, and that she was coming to find him before it was too late. Eventually, she tracks down Drift, who also introduced her to his alternate dimension counterpart, Catalyst. Vi teaches the pair how to use the rift powers to travel dimensions, and the trio decide to leave the island and rebuild the Fox Clan. In between appearances, Drift began to travel dimensions and eventually found himself at home in Mega City with the now rebuilding Fox Clan. Though he did make one visit to the island during the summer of Chapter 3 to presumably catch up with some old friends. Drift's story then continued in Chapter 4 Season 1 when the Rift Gate began to malfunction. One day it pulled Drift, Vi, and Catalyst back to the island, presumably because they had been there before. Drift was caught off guard by this, and it also seemed as if the Fox Clan were currently busy with some sort of battle back in their homeworld, as Drift would say things such as, "Can't be here, need to go back," before they would use their powers to return home. But later in the same season, the malfunctioning Riftgate pulled them back again, with Drift saying, "Again, no, not right now, not when they need us," and then they would return back home again. The third and final time this happened, Drift was the only one to return to the island, and he seemed frightened by whatever he had just witnessed. What he saw exactly still remains unknown to this day. But not long after this, Mega City was pulled to the island, and it was at this time we found out that a teen that goes by the name of Stray had joined the Fox Clan. He had left the Fox Clan's rival syndicate, the River Guard, and became like a little brother to Drift, who had been taking care of him. Drift was presumably present during the events of at least the Mega season, but was off-screen the whole time. And unfortunately, this is where Drift's story leaves off for now. Hopefully in the future we will get to know more about what happened to him between his appearances, and we'll also hopefully get to see more of his relationship with both the Road Trip Gang and the Fox Clan members.